Have your attention, please. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Try to get your attention. Sometimes we get caught up in the moment, you know. But when we hear Allahu Akbar, that should focus our attention. Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Alhamdulillah. Well, it's with great pride and pleasure that we have our special honored guest, the son of the late, great Muslim leader, internationally renowned Muslim leader, Imam Deen Mohammed II. And we have his son, who is named after him, Deen Mohammed II, the president of the Mosque, the non-profit organization that his father founded and saw fit to install him with the responsibility to be the president of Takbir. And we are blessed and honored to have him come here to support the establishment of education that his father established and gave permission to use the name of the Deen Mohammed School. So without further ado, we will bring our brother and your brother, Deen Mohammed II. Takbir!
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allah's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. Bear witness that there's no God or deity worthy of worship besides Allah, and that Prophet Muhammad is his slave servant and messenger. Amen. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum. Well, first of all, I'm truly honored and appreciative of this opportunity to come out and address you all tonight at this wonderful banquet that I'm just becoming aware of, that this 10 years, this banquet has a history, and it's a fundraiser, and it's following the tradition and the life of this community and the legacy that was left behind by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and many other pioneers, and my father, Imam Deen Mohammed. And first off, I'd like to personally thank Imam Yusuf Ramadan and Sister Day, the principal, school principal, and the staff and the students for all their hard work in preparing this banquet. My father, he first of all, I want to tell you a little bit about what I feel is the history. I hear a lot of people saying since my father passed about the legacy. We hear this language about the legacy of Imam Deen Mohammed, the community of Imam Deen Mohammed, and it brings to mind a reflection of a life that, a whole lifetime, that I saw the evolution of the community from a small child, and I almost saw it as if a person walks in. When I reflect on it, like when you walk into a movie theater, or you pick up a book and you read the cover and you open the first page. I was more or less introduced to it, but as a young child. That my father, he was a man like the man that I feel Allah is blessing me to be. And every time I look back on the success of myself as a family man, as the head of my household, and one of the greatest pleasures you can get is from family. And as most of you all know, I don't want to start one of these long speeches about and romanticizing about things, but most of you all know the type of leader the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was, and Sister Clara, his wife, were. They viewed the whole African American family as almost the same way a good mother or a good father would view their closest loved ones and relatives, family, blood.
That's right.
To them, you all were more than just just as associates in this community or brothers in arms and all of this. We were like family and still are. And their aspirations and desires and what they felt that Allah wanted most for us came out through their actions and their deeds and the different programs they established throughout the community. Going back to the education, Sister Clara Muhammad, my father, you can tell that whenever he tells a story about how Sister Clara Muhammad started the schools, that he speaks of his mother. She's a small, maybe 90-pound woman, not very imposing especially to a big male figure. He said I think it was a big Irish police officer, a truant officer that came to her house and knocked on the door and asked her why my father wasn't in school. So she stood up. She stood up to this man because of something that she believed deeply in and strong about. And her dreams and her aspirations and desires to fulfill the mission and to help the mission of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you can see it reflected in this community. I was just telling my children that I grew up on Stony Island, which was Muhammad's Temple, I think Muhammad's Temple number 2.
Number 2.
I didn't attend the University of Islam. I came right in when my father, I was old enough to go to school. I think it was about the 3rd grade. And that's why I say it was kind of like walking into a book or turning a page, because I had come from Montessori schools, which were Catholic schools. But my father told me about the Catholic school, and he let the school know about me when I went there. So I didn't go to Mass or anything like that. As a matter of fact, it was one of my first experiences with sort of racism. My family, when mother asked me, what do I do in school? I told her, me and the other African American, I don't know what I said, I probably said his name. They set us in a corner with this little math game, and it was some beads or something. We played with the beads. So, I don't think she snapped me out of school right away. It was after, I think, a nun took us to the Y or something. We went to the Y, and I was jumping on the trampoline, and I think she used the word monkey to describe my display, and that's when it was it. Everybody knows Sister Shirley, she don't play that when it comes to her children. So alhamdulillah. But I knew it because I was a little shy guy, quiet, like most of the children, Muslim children, very respectful and conscious, aware of the environment and aware of, responsibility as a child to be respectful. So I never bothered anybody too much, but when I walked into the University of Islam, I don't think the name had been changed yet, but I knew something was very, very different when every child in that room turned and looked at me. And they were all eyes looking at me, and they were saying stuff and whispering. And so I experienced this community from that day on through you all, your children and the people and the believers. My father, he was steady working all the time. He didn't sit us down and say, son, this is what's going on. This is what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught. No, he just kept leading. He led the family, he led the community, and we watched the community grow. In Chicago, we watched our community go through a lot of changes, and a lot of the workers and the people that built the Nation of Islam had lived in Chicago and spread abroad. So we saw a big change in the community. And all of this is to basically say is that this community is the programs here, you can see that they reflect the life that was established in Chicago and a lot of other cities where Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught and Imam Muhammad taught. You could come to see programs just like this when Imam Muhammad was a principal of the school. He was the imam. He taught Friday prayers. You would see him with his sleeves rolled up in the kitchen, cutting meat and cooking. You see him out back barbecuing, and you'll see him at teachers' meetings, speaking to the teachers. and instructing the imams and all of that. He was very hands-on. So for those of us